Welcome to Musical Talk. I'm Tim Saywood, and welcome to a packed Cochrane Theatre in Holborn, very near London's West End, pretty much in it really, where we're going to be witness once again this year to the Tim Williams Awards. It's an annual event, this year featuring 21 brand new songs by British musical theatre composers based on classic texts. The mastermind behind the whole operation is Bruce Wall, and he'll be introducing the evening. I'll be handing over to him in just a moment. Tonight's awards are named out of the piano after a song by Frank Lazarus. And before we hand over to Bruce Wall, let's hear that song.
This is so exciting. At my piano I compose numbers for film and theatre shows. My mother asked me how. When it comes to writing, I'm no professor, no siree, still I've a methodology. Let's make it work right now. Got my fingers on the keys, wandering the way they please. It all comes out of the piano, any old piano, sitting at the 88. Something starts to percolate. It all comes out of the piano, any old piano. Hey, here's a little melody in A flat major. Say, this could be the middle of the song. I'm glad I played ya. Put me at the wooden box. Soon a pretty tune unlocks. It all comes out of the piano, any old piano, anytime. Every single note I need, positively guaranteed. It all comes out of the piano, any old piano. Never ever ask me out if a baby grand's about, 'cause I'll be there at the piano, banging your piano. Gee, other kids were melancholy at the keyboard. Me, I could go for hours at a stretch and never be bored. When a pair of wings I wear won't be playing harp up there. It all comes out of the piano, any old piano. Show me my piano, any old piano, anytime.
The very word piano comes from the Italian pianoforte, meaning an instrument that can play both softly and loudly. Tonight, we too will celebrate the dynamic of light and shade by honoring the work of 14 British composers. We'll lionize 21 lyrics either inspired by or drawn from an established text, and joy in the sound of 20 West End voices. Indeed, tonight, we'll exalt in the art of storytelling through song, where emotion demands an extension beyond our natural speech, an art reveled in by the genius whose memory we recall Tim Williams, in this, the third award presentation in his name. Already we have heard Frank Lazarus's composition, It All Comes Out of the Piano, from which we take this evening's title, with a lyric by Frank Lazarus and Dick Vosper, and as sung by Brian Torfey. Each competing song you hear tonight will be introduced to you exactly as it was introduced to the participating composer, with a lyric title, a dramatic scenario, a suggested musical style to ensure variety, and the name of a talented singer for whom to create. In your program, you will find an item number for each song. Please know that the call order for those item numbers will probably come as much of a surprise to you as it will to the artist sitting on this stage. Why? Well, because tonight we will strive to keep our dramatic dynamic spontaneous. And so, with no further ado, and once you have switched off any audible interrupters, we will commence with item number 10. Title: So Beautiful, So Wise. Original composition by Ian Dollamore. Lyric by Hilaire Belloc and Conrad Aitken. Original interpretation by Gina Respall. Dramatic scenario. On what is to be her last day on Earth, September 16th, 1977, Maria Callas sits at a table in her Paris apartment, dwelling yet again on Onassis. Suggested musical style. This comes as close as Callas ever came to a French torch song.
Music I heard with you was more than music, and bread I broke with you was more than bread. Now that I'm without you, all is desolate. All that once was beautiful is dead. Your hands once touched this table and this silver, and I have seen your fingers hold this glass. These things do not remember you, beloved, and yet your touch upon them will not last. For it was in my heart you moved among them, bless them with your hands, your eyes. And in my heart I know they will remember. They knew you once so beautiful, so wise. Life is a long discovery, isn't it? You only get your wisdom bit by bit. You see your life go racing past and find despair until it lasts, and find when giving up the ghost that those who loved you best despised you most. Yet here inside my heart I know you love me, and get me with your hands, your eyes. And in my heart I know I will remember I loved you once so beautiful, so wise. I loved you once so beautiful, so
Item number 17. Title, After Apartheid. Original composition by James Jones. Tonight, supported on the piano by Leo Nicholson. Original lyric by Maxwell Naught. Original interpretation by Nathaniel Morrison. Dramatic scenario, a celebration of true freedom. Freedom as a state of mind. Suggested musical style, echoing the more than apparent joy that is Ladysmith Black Mambazo.
Far beyond the shifting Kalahari, amidst oceans warm and cold, a nation nestles at Africa's end, its heart burnished with deepest gold. This land's nature lies in vivid diversity, a rainbow nurtured in every guise. Cultures, climates, flora and fauna, its myriad face must always surprise. Storm clouds pass the rainbow beams without apartheid's angry heart. So many peoples huddled in one land before so sadly rift apart. Winds of change for many blow to still old gods cannot keep pace. From the melee cries a voice of reason. Oh, brothers and sisters, embrace, oh, brothers and sisters, embrace, embrace. Oh, brothers and sisters, embrace, embrace.
Next, a repeated item from one of the Tim Williams Award programs. Title, Sprung. Original composition by Sarah Bottleby. Original lyric by Peter Bradbury. Interpretation by the magical Marilyn Cutts. Dramatic scenario. An Irish matriarch confides in her guests with a celebratory glass in hand. Suggested musical style, earthy, caustic, and theatrical, a la Carole King.
dreamed a dream the other night, but didn't sleep a wink. The Pope was on the mantelpiece, and I was off the drink. When I saw him standing there, I went all weak at knees. Didn't know if I'd gone mad or just those old DTs. Didn't know how to stand or kneel. Honestly, I hadn't a clue. I thought I'd gone to heaven for what I never knew. He said to me, "Come here, my child." I said, "Indeed, my sire." I tried to stand up by his side and nearly fell in the fire. 'Twas then I knew that I'd gone mad. 'Twas then I started to think of all those mad hallucinations sprung from evil, sprung from drink. From that night on, I didn't drink. I decided I would stop. And ever since that crazy dream, I haven't touched a drop.
Next, item number 6. Title, Dastard Love. Original composition by Peter Coit. Lyric by John Masefield. Original interpretation by Lincoln Stone. Dramatic scenario. A native-born Englishman, one Lieutenant Colonel T.E. Lawrence, contemplates proudly his national pastime, the repression of all emotion. Suggested musical style. The strict obey of hymns ancient and modern, as seen through the fractured glass of Cole Porter's Devil Swing.
I hold that when a person dies, his soul returns again to earth, arrayed in some new flesh disguise. Another mother gives him birth. I know that in my life to be, my sorry heart will ache and burn, and worship unavailingly the women whom I used to spurn. And I shall know in angry words, in jibes and mocks, and many a tear, a carrion flock of homing birds, the jibes and scorns I uttered here. And as I wander on the road, I shall be helped and healed and blessed. Dear words shall cheer and be as goads to urge to heights before unguessed. My road shall be the road I made. All that I gave shall be repaid. But the brave word I failed to speak will brand me dusted on my cheek.
Next, item number 4. Title, Fault Lines. Original composition by Alex Baranowski. Lyric by Roald Dahl. Original interpretation by Valerie Cutco. Dramatic scenario. In a dear, distant world before Asbos, different restraint tactics were sometimes employed. Suggested musical style in the gleeful glorification of grotesque grand guignol, we celebrate the musical leer that is the Tagger Lilies.
Veruca Salt, the little brute, has just gone down the garbage chute. Down goes Veruca, down the drain. And here, perhaps we should explain that she will meet, as she descends, a rather different set of friends. A fish head, for example, cut this morning from her butt, and then a letter further down, a mass of others gather round. Some liverwurst, so old and grey, one smelt it from a mile away, and this the price she has to pay for going so very far astray. Now, my dears, I think you might be wondering, is it really right that every single bit of blame, or the scolding, or the shame should fall upon Veruca Salt? Is she the only one at fault? Who spoilt her? Ah, who indeed? Who pandered to her every need, who turned her into such a brat? Who are the culprits? Who did that? They are, and this is very sad, a loving parents, mum and dad, and that is why we gladly fell into the garbage chute as well.
Next, item number 3. Title, If Thou Wilt. Original composition by Alex Baranowski. Lyric by Christina Rossetti. Original interpretation by Rebecca Kane. Dramatic scenario. Penelope, with little hope of Odysseus' return, rejects all 108 suitors seeking to fill his shoes, and remains optimistic in this, the 19th of a 20-year wait. Suggested musical style. This lyric is direct and simple as befits an Oscar Hammerstein. Here, too, he must lean upon the genius of his Rogers. Next, item number 19. Title, The Earth Exhales. Original composition by James Lark. Lyric by John Betjeman. Original interpretation by the life-enriching Anton Stevens. Dramatic scenario. A civic-minded urban soul shields his eyes whilst bravely invoking his environmental rights. Suggested musical style. Given that there is something of the night about this particular Commendatore, traces of a Mozartian incantation can be heard.
Come, friendly bombs, and fall on slough. It isn't fit for humans now. There isn't grass to graze a cow. Swarm over, swarm over, swarm over, death! Come bombs and blow to smithereens these air-conditioned bright canteens. Tinned fruit, tinned meat, tinned milk, tinned beans. And get that man with double chins who always cheats and always wins, who covers his repulsive skin in women's tears. But spare the bold young clerks who add the profits of the stinking cad. It's not their fault that they are mad. They've tasted hell. It's not their fault they do not know the birdsong from the radio. It's not their fault they often go to Maidenhead and talk of sports and names of cars in various bogus Judah bars, and dare not look up to the stars, but belt instead. Come, friendly bombs, and fall on slough. Get it ready for the plough. The cabbages are coming now.
Next, item number 10. Title, Open My Eyes. Original composition by Christopher Hamilton. Lyric by Leah Goldberg. Original interpretation by Shimmy Goodman. Dramatic scenario. In 1941, a 20-year-old German meets a fellow student, a Polish boy, whilst completing his engineering studies at the University of Krakow. He rushes to make a third date, but his friend doesn't come. He's told he's been sent to Birkenau and that he too is Jewish. They had, it seems, never spoken of it. Suggested musical style. Drawing inspiration, as Sheldon Harnick so profitably did, from that vast and colourful resource that is Yiddish theatrical music at its height. The Tim Williams Award guidelines stipulate that in every programme there should be at least one song performed in a language other than English, just as it says, so that we can pretend that we are European. Like our current coalition government, we now seek to reach out for broader boundaries. And so Open My Eyes will be performed as it was written, in Hebrew. Herewith is a translation. You came to me to open my eyes. Your body a glance, a window, a mirror. You arrived as night comes to an owl, to show him in darkness all necessary things. And I learned. A name for every eyelash, every nail, for every hair on flesh uncovered, made light. And the fragrance of childhood, of resin and pine, was the sweet fragrance of our bodies' night. If there were torments, then they voyage towards you, my white sail on course towards your dark night. Now, allow me to leave. Let me go. Let me go. To bow on the shores of forgiveness.
וגופך לי מבט וחלון וראי באת כלילה הבא אל האח להראות לו בחושך את כל הדברים ולמדתי שם לכל איש וציפורן ולכל שערה בבשר החשוף וריח ילדות ריח דבק ואורן וניחוח ללא של הגוף אם היו עינויים הם הפליגו אליך מפרשי הלבן אל האופל שלך תנני ללכת תנני ללכת לכרוע על חוף הסליחה באת אליי את עיניי לפקוח וגופך לי מבט וחלון וראי באת כלילה הבא אל האח להראות לו בחושך את כל הדברים
next, item number 2. Title, State of Man. Original composition by Craig Adams. Lyric by John Fletcher and William Shakespeare. Original interpretation by Mark Akin-Falarin. Dramatic scenario. A young man of the cloth finds himself persecuted by the 1662 Act of Uniformity, in which all clergy unable to accept the restoration of the monarchy were forced to resign. Quietly, he closes the door at Lambeth Palace after an ill-begotten appeal to the Prince of the Church of England. He holds in his hand a Book of Common Prayer, now banned, and stands staring into the Thames. Suggested musical style, with overtones of that ultimate gift for any dramatic baritone or basso profundo, Giuseppe Verdi.
This is the state of man. Today he puts forth the tender leaves of hopes. Tomorrow blossoms and bears his blushing honors thick upon him. The third day comes a frost, a killing frost, and when he thinks, good easy man, full surely his greatness is a ripening nips his root, and he falls, as I do. I have ventured like little wanton boys that swim on bladders, so many summers in a sea of glory. But far beyond my depth, my high-blown pride at length broke under me, and now has left me weary and old with service to the mercy of a rude stream that must forever hide me. Vain pomp and glory of this world, I hate ye, I feel my heart new oped. Oh, how wretched is this poor man who hangs on a prince's favours. There is betwixt that smile he would aspire to, that sweet aspect of princes and their ruin, more pangs and fears than wars or women have. And when he falls like Lucifer, never to hope again. Vain pomp and glory of this world, I hate ye, I feel my eyes new oped. And when he falls like Lucifer, never to hope, never to trust again.
Some people are offered 15 minutes of fame. We now offer you 15 minutes of relief. Please know you can bring your drinks back in plastic cups, and all I ask is that you be back soon. A bientôt. Thank you.
While we're taking an interval at the Tim Williams Awards, I'm joined here by Frank Lazarus, who played, of course, the song that we heard at the very beginning and after which this evening's entertainment is named, Out of the Piano. Frank, can you quickly tell us a little bit about the source of that song and when it was written and what for?
Well, the song was written one day by me as I was enjoying the process of writing songs, writing the music, and I thought I'd write a song called It All Comes Out of the Piano because that's what I felt. And it was around the time that Dick Vosper and I were writing new songs for A Day in Hollywood, A Night in Ukraine when it was going to America. And I played it to Dick one day and he said, oh, I love it, can't we use it in the show? And since you've already started writing the lyric, why don't we write the lyric together? And that's how the song came about. And in A Day in Hollywood, A Night in Ukraine, it introduced a medley of songs by the great Hollywood songwriter Richard Whiting. So that at the very beginning, in the original, the verse starts, Mr. Richard Whiting at your piano, etc. Because I like to sing it I sang it in the show on Broadway, but since then I've done a one-man show in which I've sung the song, and I wanted to take it away from being so specific. So I changed the first line to, this is so exciting, and did it that way.
That's splendid, and it obviously heralded an exciting evening. And we've got 21 songs. Now, I understand you've got to judge between some of them, is that right?
Yes, I am one of the judges, and I have to present the award at the end for the Best Composer. This is the third time that Bruce Wall has had this competition, and I've been involved in each one of these, and I'm bowled over every time by the unbelievable talent of these composers who have such demands made on them to set these classical texts. And so far, in all three editions of this competition, my jaw drops open in amazement at what they achieve.
Absolutely. We have an entry, of course, this year from last year's winner, which was Christopher Hamilton. So
yes.
I trust, of course, that won't be influencing in any way the way it goes.
No, it's all to do with the specific songs, and but what you could be sure is that he's already had one of his songs played, and of course they're all at the same high standard.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Frank, and we'll see afterwards who comes out on top.
We certainly will.
So a perspective there from Broadway veteran Frank Lazarus, who you may or may not know used to impersonate Chico Marx once a week on BBC Radio in a recreation of the Flywheel Shyster and Flywheel Marx Brothers radio scripts that they used to do with NBC. I don't know who played Harpo. In fact, I suspect just whoever happened to be able to honk the horn. Anyway, we are now back in the auditorium at the Cochrane Theatre for the second half of the Tim Williams Awards, named, as we said, after that song by Frank, Out of the Piano.
So is everyone suitably refreshed? Excellent. Now, just before we begin the second act, one of the people who've been so supportive of us is a wonderful secret organisation almost called the Audience Club, which gives people the opportunity to share theatre with their friends and families at a cost that's affordable. And I'm told we have a special premium membership given to somebody in the audience. And the winning number on your program, whoever has number 183, does anyone have 183? Excellent. Excellent. Could you please see the lovely Christine Donald at the end, and she will take your details. Now, item number 12. Title, On Monsieur's Departure. Original composition by David Hewson. Lyric by Elizabeth I. Original interpretation by Sarah Earnshaw. A young woman, perhaps a virgin queen, holds a picture of unrequited love to her breast. Much as centuries later, the great Harold Arlen would fashion for another Queen of Hearts Judy Garland.
I grieve, yet dare not show my discontent. I love, and yet am forced to seem to hate. I do, yet dare not say I ever meant. I seem stark mute, but inwardly to prate. I am, and not, I freeze. Sorry? Oh. I didn't even realise.
Oh, blimey. Look, we've got the composer here. You know, I know that piano rolls came in 1907.
I thought he wasn't following me. I was like,
Okay, the Virgin Queen's now had some experience.
oh my goodness!
So we're going to do it again for real.
It's very dramatic. I grieve, yet dare not show my discontent. I love, and yet am forced to seem to hate. I do, yet dare not say I ever meant. I seem stark mute, but inwardly to prate. I am and not, I freeze and yet am burned, since from myself another self I turned. Some gentler passion slide into my mind, for I am soft and made of melting snow. Or be more cruel, love, and be so kind. Let me but float or sink, be high or low. Or let me live with some more sweet content, or die and so forget what love meant.
Next, item number 21. Title, Do I Believe in God? Original composition by Richard Link. Tonight supported on the piano by Candida Caldecott. Lyric by Noel Coward. Original interpretation by James Smoker. Dramatic scenario. A young British curate, freshly ordained in 1983, finds himself appointed vicar at the little church around the corner, the Actors' Church in New York City. He continues to watch as large swathes of his performing friends die particularly ugly deaths at the hands of the newly christened AIDS plague. I pray for one, just one day, when I don't have to go to a memorial service, whispers that great actress and president of the American Actors Equity Association, Colleen Dewhurst, into his ear. Suggested musical style. Colleen knew privately that she was dying of cancer. The curate, too, knew privately that he would soon be terminal with AIDS, and was. Jonathan Larson's Rent gave voice to a generation desperately seeking a voice to be remembered by. Sadly, the composer never lived to hear it celebrated.
Do I believe in God? Well, yes, I suppose, in a sort of way. It's really terribly hard to say. I'm sure there must be, of course, some kind of vital moving force, some power that holds the winning cards behind life's ambiguous facades. But whether you think me odd or not, I can't decide if it's God or not. I look at the changing sea and sky and try to picture eternity. I gaze at immensities of blue and say to myself, it can't be true that somewhere up in that abstract sphere are all the people that once were here, attired in white and shapeless gowns, sitting on clouds like eider downs. Do they sit up there in constant hope of dispensations from some pope? Are they pursued from womb to tomb by hideous prophecies of doom? Have they cathedral, church, or chapel? Are they concerned with Adam's apple? Have they immortal souls like us? Or are they just less presumptuous? Do I believe in God? Well, yes, I suppose, in a sort of way. It's really terribly hard to say.
Next, item number 5. Title, Oh Wicked Mr. Best. Original composition by Sarah Bottleby. Lyric by Jane Austen. Original interpretation by Rebecca Hines. Dramatic scenario. Teenage angst. Even when summering in Yorkshire. Reigns eternal. But sometimes, just sometimes, youthful friendship can reign supreme. Suggested musical style, well, someone suggested Julie Andrews meets Lily Allen. But it was thought this might be a tad closer to Sandy Wilson's The Boyfriend, remembering as we do that it is never too late to fall in love.
Mr. Best, you're very bad, and all the world shall know it. Your base behavior shall be sung by me, a tuneful poet. You used to go to Harrogate each summer as it came. And why, I pray, should you refuse to go this year again? If e'er the waters were of use, why now their use forgo? You may not live another year, all mortals here below. But yet a nobler duty calls you now towards the north. Arise ennobled as escort of Martha Lloyd. Stand forth. She wants your aid, she honors you with a distinguished call. Stand forth to be the friend of her who is the friend of all. Convey her safe to Morton's wife, and I'll forget the past, and write some verses in your praise as finely and as fast. But if you do refuse to go, I'll never let you rest, but haunt you with reproachful song. Oh, wicked Mr. Best.
Next, item number 2. Title, Live Hence by Truth. Original composition by Craig Adams. Lyric by William Shakespeare. Original interpretation by John Addison. Dramatic scenario. A brave warrior, Montano, mortally wounded by a drunkenly duped Cassio, staggers forward. Suggested musical style, echoing that humane plea found at the heart of Chilea's haunting theatrical music, E la solita storia. It's that familiar tale.
Have I not hideous death within my view, retaining but a quantity of life, which bleeds away even as a form of wax, resolveth from his figure against the fire. What in this world should make me now deceive, since I must lose the use of all deceit? What in this world should make me now deceive, since I must lose the use of all deceit? Why then should I be false, since it is true that I must die here and live hence by truth? In lieu thereof I pray you bear me hence from forth the noise, and rumour of the field. Where I may think the remnant of my thoughts in peace and my soul. My soul, my soul, with contemplation and devout desires.
Next, item number 20. Title, Down Fanatic. Original composition by Richard Link. Again supported on the piano tonight by Candida Caldecott. Lyric by Roger Waddis. Original interpretation by Morag McLaren. Dramatic scenario. A God-fearing, peace-loving village doyenne, perhaps hailing from Grantham, perhaps not, here multitasks, religiously exercising her best faith whilst insistently speaking her mind. Suggested musical style. Mix Mel Levin's theme song for Cruella de Vil with Cole Porter's I Hate Men. And if she doesn't scare you, nobody will.
If I had my way with violent men, I'd simmer them all in oil. I'd fill a pot with bitumen and bring them all to boil. I execrate the terrorist and all who harbor him. If I weren't a moralist, I'd tear them limb from limb. Fanatics are an evil breed whom decent men must shun. I'd like to live every single one. I'd like to tie them to the rack and let them taste the cat while giving praise. Oh, thank the Lord that I am not like that. Like that, yes. Oh, I should love a humankind as Jesus taught us to. And those who don't should be struck blind and beaten black and blue. I'd like to roast them in a grill and listen to them shriek. Then boil them all upon our wheel until I turn the other cheek. The other. I turn the other cheek.
Next, item number 16. Title, Doubt. Original composition by Elfie Granger Howell. Original lyric by Christopher Davenport. Original interpretation by Gerard Bentall. Dramatic scenario. The insane first wife of one of the founding fathers of the United States, Patrick Henry, is said to have first uttered, "Give me liberty or give me death." Henry kept Sarah, mother to the first 6 of his 17 children, locked up in his basement from 1771 until her death in 1775. Remaining faithful as a carer, Henry struggled as much with his own conscience in watching her sleep straitjacketed as he did with his political ambition and the protection of his own mental state. Suggested musical style, honoring a composer who too forged history via a deluge of delight, Galt McDermott.
Why should I be what you want me to be? Life is what one makes of it for oneself. How can we sit like stock upon the shelf, knowing life has so much more to offer? What if perchance I strove to live my dreams? Ambition toys my mind. Success I see. I'll try. I'll crave. I'll lust. I must be free to decide my fate. How hard it seems. Yet I believe my life in which we're blessed is not if first myself I cannot love. Life is not a game. It's merely a test. Our tomorrows none have certainty of. Why must I do what you want me to do? My life is mine, so doubt be off with you.
Next, item number 40. Title, Burn. Original composition by Christopher Hamilton. Lyric by Tennessee Williams. Original interpretation by the glorious Diane Pilkington. Dramatic scenario. Maggie the cat, after heat. On the roof with a young friend, feline. Smoking. Suggested musical style. Lena Horne is dubiously dubbed by a Marilyn Monroe to remnants from Jack Strachey's insistent tune, These Foolish Things.
After you've been to bed together for the first time, without the advantage or disadvantage of any prior acquaintance, the other party very often says to you, "Tell me about yourself. I want to know all about you." And you think that maybe they really and truly do. So you light up a cigarette and begin to tell it to them, the two of you lying together in completely relaxed positions, like a pair of red dolls, a bored child dropped on a bed. So you tell them your story, or as much of your story as time and a fair degree of prudence allows, and they say, oh. And then there's some interruption. Slow room service comes up with a bowl of melted ice cubes. Oh, one of you rises to pee and gaze at himself with mild astonishment in the bathroom mirror. And then the first thing you know, they're telling you their life story exactly as they'd intended to all along. And you're saying, as the lift halfway down the corridor and a turn to the left draws one last long deep breath of exhaustion and stops breathing forever. Then, one of you falls asleep, and the other one does likewise, with a lighted cigarette in his mouth. And that's how people burn to death in a hotel room.
Let's give some credit to Tennessee. Next, item number 22. Title, Presentiment. Original composition by Rachel Lisk. Lyric by Charlotte Bronte. Original interpretation by Helena Blackman. Dramatic scenario. a woman from Hawthorne sits, abstracted and still, aside the body of a sister who died in anguish the night before. Both her sisters, both Emma and Jane, are now dead, and she is pale. Suggested musical style. There are castles in the clouds.
8 months ago, the summer sun set in a glorious sky. A quiet field, all green and long, received its rosy dye. Jane sat upon a shaded stile, alone she sits there now. Her head rests on her hand the while, and thought o'ercasts her brow. She's thinking of that winter's day, a few short months ago. Then Emma's beer was borne away, o'er wastes of frozen snow. She's thinking how that drifted snow dissolved in spring's first gleam, and how our sister's memory now fades even as fades a dream. The snow will whiten earth again, but Emma comes no more. She left midwinter sleet and rain, this world for heaven's shore. On Beulah's hills she wanders now, on Eden's tranquil plain. For her shall Jane hereafter go. She never shall come to Jane.
Next, item number 7. Title, Horsey. Original composition by Peter Coit. Original lyric by Rebecca Giward after George Bernard Shaw. Original interpretation by Helen Goldwyn. Dramatic scenario. Bernard Shaw, who hated to be Georged in public, wrote, "Cruelty would be delicious if only one could find a cruelty that didn't really hurt." Inside his masterwork Heartbreak House, a bohemian daughter, one Hesione Hushabye, struggles with her own internal travail. Go anywhere in England where there are natural, wholesome, contented, and really nice English people, and what you will always find, that the stables are the real centre of the household. And that if any visitor wants to play the piano, the whole room has to be upset before it can be opened. There are so many things piled on it. I never lived until I learned to ride. And I shall never ride really well because I didn't begin as a child. There are only 2 societies in good society in England: the equestrian classes and the neurotic classes. Well, it isn't mere convention. Everybody can see that the people who hunt are the right ones, and the people who don't are... Exactly. Suggested musical style. Ennobling Shaw in lyric as Alan J. Lerner so wittily did, we turn in scope towards his matching genius, Frederick Lowe, to lift this Edwardian music hall ditty unto a broader scale.
Oh, how I do hate the neurotics. Their nervousness fills me with rage. They flap and they squawk just like chickens, afraid of that fox in their cage. But hating is wrong, Nanny told me. And Daddy said, darling, be kind. These people, they never had horses. No wonder they're out of their mind. Without fools, life's not worth living. Doctors give me pills and then creams. Freud lays me down on his sofa, still I lust for that colt of my dreams. Love not from a nag isn't loving. Nothing feels so good between the thighs, nor matches the soft warm nuzzle, nor e'er a man bettered his rise. But wanting is wrong, Nanny told me, and Daddy said, dear, stay refined. The receivers, they've now got our horses. No wonder I'm out of my mind.
Item number 9. Title, What Case I? Original composition by Gareth Peter Dix. Lyric by William Shakespeare. Original interpretation by Laura Pitt Pulford. Dramatic scenario. In celebration of Frances L. Clayton, a female who donned men's clothing in order to enlist with her husband in the Union Army during the American Civil War. Wounded 3 times in battle, Frances was taken prisoner by the Confederacy. Here, in a moment of cell solitude and believing her end to be nigh, she takes out her one personal possession, a wedding ring, and stares into its reflection, pondering what she might finally write to her 15-year-old soldier son. Suggested musical style. Imagine an Aaron Copland mixed with Julie Stein in song, and it might just very well sound like this.
Look in thy glass and tell the face thou viewest. Now is the time that face should form another, whose fresh repair, if now thou not renewest, thou dost beguile the world, unbless a mother. But if thou lived, remembered not to be thy single, and thine image thy face I know, thy mother she's in thee. Calls back the April dawn of thy cherished prime. Thou will recall reflection of thy memory, despite of wrinkles true, this thy golden prime. But if thou lived, remembered not to be, what case I, what case I? For who is she so fair whose unplowed womb disdains the tillage of thy husbandry? And who is he so fond will be thy tomb of his self-love to stop posterity? But if thou lived, remembered not to be, die single, and thine image dies with thee. But if thou lived, remembered not to be, die single, and thine image dies with thee. What case
That was the last competitive song. And so while the judges finish their markings and review their findings, I will stall for time and tell you who they are. I do this because when the awards are announced, they will have been your representatives. First, Tim Arnold, a fine composer and performer with an extraordinary tenor voice, whose CD, Sonnet 155, has just been released, and its live performances at the Almeida Theatre heralded. Thank you. Frank Lazarus, a guiding light for the Tim Williams Awards, and a composer of many, many shows, including the double Tony Award-winning A Day in Hollywood, A Night in the Ukraine. You know, it's very funny because, of course, the Tonys are the Antoinette Perry Awards. And I wonder if in time the Tim Williams Awards will become the Willies. And then you face the prospect of composers turning to each other and asking how many Willies they have won. Alliteration has a lot to answer for. Nigel Lilly, that magical musical force behind the voices, both instrumental and vocal, that we've all thrilled to in such recent West End hits as Spring Awakening, La Cage aux Folles, and the current Sweet Charity. Michael Pivoy, a truly major performing talent, about to graduate from the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, who was the recipient of the 2009 Sondheim Student Singer of the Year Award. Tonight we are especially honored. We have a judge, Steve Ross, of whom the San Francisco Chronicle wrote, "Attending a Ross performance is like opening a treasure chest of great, often rare songs. No one performing today is his equal. They just don't make them like that anymore." Whether it be his long-standing haunt at New York's legendary Algonquin, or the Ritz in London, or the Crillion in Paris, or Tokyo's Imperial, whether it be the BBC or NPR, whether it be the Savoy Theatre or Carnegie Hall, this is a songmeister of the first order. Nicholas Paul Simpson, himself a respected film and television composer, Nick kindly fulfills the TWA guideline that stipulates that one judge in every program must have been a competing composer in the previous. Paul Vale, an astute and much valued journalist supporting the development of musical theatre through his writings in The Stage and other publications. And last but not least, Phil Wilmot. What can one say? I will simply quote from his website. Phil Wilmot is a multi-award-winning director, artistic director, playwright, composer, librettist, teacher, dramaturg, art journalist, and occasional actor. He has worked in theatres across the world in everything from classical drama, musicals, and family shows to cabaret and cutting-edge new writing. I've been privileged to know Phil since he was a student at Rose Bruford, and it is indeed true. He is a force of theatrical nature which this country has every right to applaud. Now I feel I have stalled long enough. So I will ask the lights, the house lights, if we could, Jason, just bring them up for a second. Thank you. Now I'm going to ask the judges to rise from their places, please. I'm going to ask the independent tabulators to please remove the binders from their hands. The die is now cast. Now, the second repeated song from a previous TWA presentation. Title, Ephemero. In English, Ephemerum. Original composition by Sarah Bodelby. Original lyric by Rebecca Applin. Interpretation by Ben Allen Francis. Dramatic scenario. In the age of Shakespeare, an aristocratic lad loses his father on his 16th birthday, becoming a court ward to the Lord Treasurer and seeing his mother wed his father's captain of horse. Now she is as far beneath him socially as she towered before, and just as he feels secure enough to address her, she is gone. Suggested musical style, filial frustration. Say Andrea Chenier. Say La Mamma Morta for a member of the tenor set. This was the first song in a Tim Williams Award to be performed in a language other than English, and it is in Italian. I could read a translation, but I'm not going to, because I think part of the joy of listening to songs, whether it's in Hebrew or in Italian or in English, is hearing the muscle of the language. Let's just say this chap has problems with his mother.
È la vita semplicemente un effimero frammento di nuvola, un momento lì, in altra è andata. E c'è niente a cui mantenersi, a cui aggrapparsi per sentire la solida verità nelle nostre mani. E tutto ciò che abbiamo caro semplicemente come ombre su una sfumatura dei suoi saggi che si dilegua in un'aurora. Ma il cuore continua a battere come un sonero un fulcro nell'oscurità. Siamo della stessa natura dei sogni e la nostra mera esistenza è conclusa dal sonno.
There was a quotation from Shakespeare at the end of that song. Did anybody recognize it? Anybody? We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little lives are rounded with a sleep. Now, it's a bit weird, really, you know. This is the Tim Williams Awards, but we've yet to have any music by Tim. We've yet really to be able to go through the files of Tim's music, so I promised myself that there would be something by Tim in this program. And I found on my own computer a very, very early track from a rehearsal of a program called Will I Survive, which was put together at HMP Brixton and then used to open the 2005 Ledbury Poetry Festival, and later, in a different format, presented at the Stratford Festival in Stratford, Ontario, in Canada. And I think if Tim knew that this track was going to see the light of public performance, he would be absolutely horrified. So I do hope you will forgive us, Tim, and you will see I'm still perverse. So this is a song. The lyric is by Edna St. Vincent Millay. And here it deals with a woman who is struggling, in fact, serving the real sentence, as so many families do, for a husband who is currently in prison. And I'm absolutely delighted that the first song by Tim to appear in this awards program bearing his name will be sung by the extraordinary Helen Goldwyn.
Love is not all, it is not meat nor drink, nor slumber, nor a roof against the rain, nor yet a floating spot to men that sink and rise and sink and rise and sink again. Love cannot fill the thickened lung with breath, yet many a man is making friends with death. Even as I speak, for lack of love alone, it may well be that in a difficult hour, pinned down by pain and moaning for release, or nagged by want, last resolutions pass. I might be driven to sell your love for peace, or trade the memory of a night for food. It may well be. I don't think I would.
Next, it's my extreme privilege to be able to introduce the first song to win a Tim Williams Award for Composition. The composition is by Elfie Granger Howell. The title is We Wear the Mask. The lyric is by Paul Laurence Dunbar. And tonight, to interpret it, the wonderful Ben Allen Francis. Dramatic scenario. A young gay soldier, having survived his service amongst the forces in World War I, sits in front of a mess mirror, removing his makeup after being forced to play the dame in his unit panto. He finds it not quite so easy to wipe away the sounds of taunts and shrapnel. Suggested musical style, twisted 20s, with a touch of a music box grind.
We wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shades our eyes. This debt we pay to human guile. With torn and bleeding hearts we smile. And mouth with myriad subtleties. Why should the world be overwise in counting all our tears and sighs? Nay, let them only see us while we wear the mask. Let them only see us while we wear the mask. We smile, but oh, great Christ, our cries to thee from tortured souls arise. We sing, but oh, the clay is vile beneath the feet and along the mile. Let the world dream otherwise. We wear the mask. Why should the world be overwise in counting all our tears and sighs? Nay, let them only see us while we wear the mask. Let them only see us while we wear the mask. Let them only see us while we wear the mask.
this is where Bruce runs out of material. I would happily ask to have the second Tim Williams award-winning song played, but I know I didn't ask you to do that. What? You can do it. Yes! Ladies and gentlemen, original composition by Christopher Hamilton. Original lyric. No, it's not. It's lyric by Sir Noel Coward. It is pretty original, though. And it's performed brilliantly by Shimmy Goodman. Oh. Title, I Am No Good at Love.
I am no good at love. My heart should be wise and free. But I kill the unfortunate golden goose, whoever it may be, with over-articulate tenderness and too much intensity. I am no good at love. I batter it out of shape. Suspicion tears at my sleepless mind, and gibbering like an ape, I lie alone in the endless dark, knowing there's no escape. I am no good at love. When my easy heart I yield, wild words come tumbling from my mouth, which should have stayed concealed, and my jealousy turns a bed of bliss into a battlefield. I am no good at love. I betray it with little sins, for I feel the misery of the end the moment that it begins, and the bitterness of the last goodbye is the bitterness that wins. I am no good at love. When my easy heart I yield, wild words come tumbling from my mouth, which should have stayed concealed, and my jealousy turns a bed of bliss into a battlefield. I am no good at love. I betray it with little sins, for I feel the misery of the end the moment that it begins, and the bitterness of the last goodbye is the bitterness that wins.
Is there no one with some papers that they might like to bring down? Ah, yes. Thank you very... You haven't been standing there all the while, have you? Oh, thank you very much. I love it when people wait for me. Okay. Now, we have a new award this evening. It's an Audience Club Award, and it's another compositional award, because we can't do too much to support the people who write the language of the music in this country. They deserve our support, and they deserve to be lauded by us. Tonight, you have seen a truly spectacular conglomeration of artists who very bravely have taken the words and answered the call of their composer and made the line of the music themselves their own. And I would like to ask all the singers to now please rise so that we can all thank them. And now, the people who provided the music, who took these lines and gave them life in a different language. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you these extraordinary artists of this nation, the composers. Present this first Audience Club Old Words New Theatrical Song Award. Someone who daily turns other people's music into something that we love to hear. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nigel Lilly.
Just thank you. It's fantastic to all the performers and composers. A wonderful evening, so thank you very much. And the winner is Craig Adams for Live Hence by Truth.
The Original Lyric Award. And I'm going to ask someone to come up to present this who is as gifted with the dramatic lyric as with the musical. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one of Britain's national treasures, the Olivier Award-winning actress, Sarah Kesselman.
What an amazing event this is, and what astonishing variety of rich and dramatic material we've heard in the composing and in the performances. I mean, just thank you for getting everybody up so that we could applaud them, because sitting here as we have been for the last, I don't know how long, what I've been so moved by and so impressed by and so touched by and feel so privileged and honored to have been in the presence of is this extraordinary gift to take a lyric and act it through. And it stands up on its own. Each of these songs stand up on their own. Or they could be part of a program, couldn't they? Or they could be part of a show. And the intensity of the delivery and the work that has gone into finding the journey, the storytelling of these songs. Thank you. Thank you. It's a real privilege. Okay, the third Tim Williams Award for original lyric inspired by a classical established source goes to Rachel Giruado. Is that right?
Yes.
For the lyric, and the song title is Horsey. What does it say here?
I've had two names tonight. I've been Rebecca and Rachel. I hate to admit it, but I'm Blanche.
Blanche. How do we say your surname?
Blanche Girouard. So thank you very much.
Blanche Girouard.
And now, to present the third Tim Williams Award for Composition, it is my great honor to invite Frank Lazarus to come up on the stage.
The people who've been up here before have really covered the extraordinary talent that is here tonight. But I just want to say, from the point of view of composing, people often confuse song lyrics with poetry. And really, they are not the same thing. Song lyrics are meant to be set to music, and poetry isn't. So that the demands made on these composers is really extraordinary, because they have to take something that isn't intended to be a song and turn it into something that will work either as a theatre piece or at any rate as a gripping piece of music, whether that's funny or whether it's moving. And I'm just bowled over every time. This is the third Tim Williams Award, and that's what distinguishes this particular kind of competition from all other song competitions, the demands that are actually made on the composers, and they just rise to the occasion magnificently. And of course, they're also wonderfully performed by these amazing people with their fantastic voices. So, I've said quite enough. The third Tim Williams Award, well, this is extraordinary, goes to Christopher Hamilton for Bell.
Songs in the competition. Which song?
For Burn.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you join with me in wanting to hear the winning composition.
Together for the first time, without the advantage or disadvantage of any prior acquaintance, the other party yourself. I want to know all about you, and you think maybe they really and truly do. So you light up a cigarette and begin to tell it to them, the two of you lying together in completely relaxed positions, like a pair of rag dolls a poor child dropped on a bed. So you tell them your story, or as much of your story as time and a fair degree of prudence allows, and they say, oh, and then there's some interruption. Slow room service comes up with a bowl of melted ice cubes. One of you rises to pee and gaze at himself with mild astonishment in the bathroom mirror, and then the first thing you know, they're telling you their life story exactly as they'd intended to all along, and you're saying, as the lift halfway down the corridor and a turn to the left breathes one long last deep breath of exhaustion and stops breathing forever. Then one of you falls asleep, and the other one does likewise, with a lighted cigarette in his mouth. And that's how people burn to death in hotel rooms.
It has been an extraordinary, extraordinary evening. And finally, I want to thank you, because you have been the first and last character in every song that has been performed for the first time this evening. And your joy is ours. Thank you. One last thing. There may be, if we can arrange it, some CDs by a couple of these glorious artists outside at a table, and if you could support them, that would be hugely appreciated. Secondly, and I'm dreadful at this, I realize that some of you are here through the, how should I say, the largesse of a higher theatrical order, power. If you could find it in your heart to help support this initiative, which I hope you feel is important, we would be deeply appreciative. And since so many of the songs this evening had a religious connotation, all I would say is just pretend you're in church. And remember, we are such stuff as dreams are made on. Good night. Thank you.
And that concludes this week's episode of Musical Talk. I've been Tim Saywood, sitting here recording it all, and your host, of course, was the wonderful Bruce Wall. If you have any comments, of course, you can always visit our forum at musicaltalk.co.uk, and, of course, that is also the address of our website. And if you want to contact us, you can also do so on feedback@musicaltalk.co.uk. However, that's all for Musical Talk for this week, and let's talk again soon.